Hey everybody, tonight I'm going to be reviewing the brand new Milwaukee M12 and M18 LED floodlights and lanterns. Now, the reason I'm out here tonight is just to show you the light quality and light output of these. It's pitch black outside, it's about 10 p.m. at night, and as you can see, I'm out here in the yard near one of my sheds. So there's no ambient light around other than the stick light that I have on. What I'm going to do is turn that off, and you'll be able to see the differences between the two of these as far as light output as well as light quality. Okay, so the first light we're going to start out with is the M12 LED floodlight lantern. And what I'm going to do is first turn this on, and then I'm going to turn off the stick light that I have shining on me right now, just because if I turn it off to completely pitch black, the camera's going to go out of focus and it's not going to re-autofocus. So first we're going to turn this on, and the first click, of course, is going to be high, and then I'll be able to turn the stick light off. And when I do, all the light you see is going to be coming out of the M12. And if I turn it around and aim it at that shed, you can see it's lighting it up. We're roughly about 25 feet away from it at this point. I'm actually going to set it down on the ground, and then I'm going to walk over to the shed, and you'll be able to see me. So you can see I'm standing roughly 25 feet away from the camera right now, and you can still see me very well, and that's running off the M12 batteries. Now, we can take that off of floodlight mode and then turn it to lantern mode just by simply turning the handle. Now we have 360 degrees of light coming out of this unit. Now, this is on high, so let's move it from high. We'll bump it down to medium with one click. And then one more click is going to turn it down on low. So, depending on what you really need, you need one of those three options, but high is going to give you a lot of output on a very small battery. Now let's see what the M18 can do. Okay, so we're going to turn the M12 off, and now we have the M18. Now, this one also has three different settings, just like the M12 did. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. It's going to bump it on high, and you can see that's a lot brighter. So now I'm going to turn the stick light off again. And now that it's off, all of the light we see is coming out of this unit. So if I turn it around and aim it at the shed, you can see it's going to light everything up. And like I said, this is outside right now in the pitch black. There's no ambient light whatsoever. And everything that you see is coming out of this unit. Now this is on high, then we'll bump it down to medium with one click. And then we're going to bump it down on low. So you can still see, but it's not going to be nearly as much as the high would give you. And what we'll do is twist that collar. It's going to flip it to lantern mode. And once again, you can see it has 360 degrees of light at this point. So if you're working on something, or let's say you're camping, or you want to light up a room you're working on in a house, or maybe your garage and you don't have any power, this is still going to put out a lot of light for you. Okay, now we're going to see how that floodlight mode works inside the shed that has no electricity. What I'm going to do is hang this up on a hook in there, and then I'm going to turn it on high. I'm going to come out here and turn the LED stick light off, and the only light that you see is going to be coming out of this unit. So pressing the button once, we're going to turn it on high. I'm going to hang it up in here, and then I'm going to come out and turn that unit back off. Okay, the stick light is completely off. It does a great job of lighting up the inside of the shed. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn it on medium. Still a lot of light, very usable, and then all the way on low. If you were out here, I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing work out here if it was on low, but it would be enough to find the tools that you need if you have to come out to the shed late at night and find anything. Now let's see how the M18 does. So I'm going to turn this back on high. We're going to take the M18, and then we're basically just going to swap them. So here's the M18, much brighter. I'm going to turn it to the lantern mode, which is what that one's on. I'm going to turn the M12 off, and let's see how this lights up. So this one's already on high. We're going to turn the M12 off by pressing the button 3 times. I'll take it down, set it to the side, and now we're going to hang the M18 up in here. You can see it has a tremendous amount of light, plenty of light to go around. This shed is 10 feet wide and 14 feet long, I'll go ahead and press the button now to put it on medium. Still a lot of light in here. This is the first time I've tried this test. And very usable. It lights up everything. And then all the way on low, of course, is going to be just enough so you'll be able to see what's in the shed. But once again, I wouldn't suggest working on a lawnmower in the dark just on low. But either on medium or high was more than enough light. Really, when it goes dead, you can just plug it back in, recharge the battery, and you're going to have the full light output again to last you for many hours of work in an unlit or a garage or another unit that doesn't have any electricity. Now let's say you're on a road trip, you're camping, or maybe you're even out on a boat and you run into trouble. If you have one of these floodlight lanterns with you, they have something called strobe mode. So just rather than using high, medium, or low, you can actually turn on a very fast blinking strobe simply by pressing the buttons in and holding them. And then you'll be able to alert people that there's a problem. So if this is behind your vehicle and you're broke down on the side of the road changing a tire, or let's say you may twist your ankle or break your leg up in the woods, you can set this out, people are going to see the lights blinking, and they can call someone to help you. Now the M18 is actually going to run for 18 hours on strobe mode, and then the M12 can run up to 15 hours. So if there's ever a problem, this could really save your life or get somebody to help you much quicker. And then to turn it off, you simply just press the button and it's going to turn the strobe mode right off. So I think that's a real nice feature that Milwaukee has built into these. And I think that the strobe mode, let's say you're changing a tire, people are going to be able to avoid you very easily. And if you're out on a boat and you run out of gas, or let's say you're up in the mountain camping and you run into a problem, hopefully it's going to be able to get you help a lot quicker. Looking at the two different units side by side without the batteries is where you're going to see the measurement of a little over 11 inches from the top to the bottom. But I have two 4 amp hour, the M18 4 amp hour XCs, as well as the XC 4.0 M12s. And those do come off the bottom and it would add on to that overall length. So you can see with the high capacity batteries, the M18 is a much larger unit than the M12. Now, a few things I want to point out. They both have the same exact functionality. So just showing you the M12, you can see all of the lights across here. This is going to be in the floodlight mode, where it is 180 degrees of light being projected. But if we twist that handle, you can see the inside lights being turned, and then it's going to flip to lantern mode. So now if we spin it around, you can see the LEDs all the way around, and then that would give you 360 degrees of light. So that's how we do the two different modes. That actually has a hinge. Those LED bars in there, the two outer ones will swing inward, and then it will basically make just a bar all the way around the center. Now, as you can see from a top point of view, these do stand upright by themselves with no problems. But let's say you want to hang it from a hook or a wire, they do have these little metal brackets, and there's actually 2 of them on the top. So if you want to hang it on a hook or just a wire, you can slip it on this way, but then to lock it in place so it physically cannot slide off or get knocked off of the wire, then you can swing the other side up. Now in the center of this, there's actually a little divot or an indentation here that will rest on a wire and it will center the light. So it's not going to be hanging to the left or to the right. That little bit is going to be enough to hold it on a wire or a nail and keep it from moving around. Now they're both like this, and they will fold down into a flat position to lower the height of these when you're not using them. So you can see it does lower the height of them considerably. But if you are going to hang them from a hook or a nail or even a wire, you can do that and it's going to still give you very even light. Now these are extremely durable. They will actually survive up to a 6-foot drop without breaking. And I actually witnessed that this year at the annual Milwaukee event, because when they were demonstrating them, they actually held them over their heads with the lights on and dropped them onto the concrete floor from a height probably closer to 7 or 8 feet without any problem at all. Now as far as the run times on these go, the M12 on low will put out 40 lumens of light and it will run for 67 hours. On medium is 200 lumens at 15-hour runtime, and then on high is 400 lumens with an 8-hour runtime. And those runtimes are based on the 4 amp hour XC red lithium battery packs. Now when we look at the M18s, low is going to be 70 lumens at 75 hours runtime. Medium is going to be 350 lumens for 18 hours. And then on high, it will put out 700 lumens and it will run for 9 hours on one battery charge. So that is just a tremendous amount of light to put out just with batteries. And it's not putting out all that extra heat like you would get with an incandescent light. It puts out a very clean light. And that TRUEVIEW technology, let's say you're an electrician working inside a panel, all the wires, if you're wiring up something that has many different colors, you're going to be able to identify those very easily because the light quality is very similar to natural sunlight. So there's not any discoloration if you use some off-colored LEDs or maybe even a halogen light. These are going to give you that exact same light quality and the colors that you would get with natural sunlight. So now you've seen the M18 and M12 LED floodlight lanterns for yourself. These things put out a tremendous amount of light and the light quality is very good. It's very close to natural sunlight when you get close to something. And let's say you're working on a wiring harness or down inside an engine bay, you're going to be able to follow a wiring diagram and make sure you're cutting the correct wires instead of the wrong wire where if you're using a different type of LED, it can throw the colors off. Now, another thing that I want to point out about these, they do have a USB port on the back of them that will put out 2.1 amps of power if you just press this button. So you can plug your cell phone charger or your tablet charger into these. It's going to power those and it's going to charge them roughly twice as fast as a standard wall outlet. Because what I'll do is actually use the M18 power pack that also puts out 2.1 amps of power, and my cell phone will charge up literally twice as fast as if I plug it in the standard wall outlet. Now these do have a 5-year warranty on them through Milwaukee, and then the LEDs have a limited lifetime warranty. So even if the tool is working perfectly and those LEDs burn out 15 years from now, Milwaukee's going to replace the LEDs for you free of charge. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.